All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, that belongs to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Well. Peace, blessings, salutations to those for electors out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to the truth with our sincerity. All right, may the blessing let you be upon your houses. All right, the title and topic of this lesson is going to be, all right, famine, pestilence, and destruction. All right, right here. Okay, I got a clip. All right, this is a TikTok clip of this is a TikTok clip that's speaking of a current pestilence. All right, that is going on right now, right? And this pestilence, is it has it's a very, different or peculiar, pestilence, man. You know, I'm gonna just play this clip.
The World Health Organization just confirmed that they suspect a rare virus is spreading person to person on a cruise ship stuck in the Atlantic, and no country is letting it dock. So there are 149 people from 23 different countries trapped on the ship right now. 3 different passengers are already gone. There's 1 more in intensive care right now, and there's at least 3 more suspected cases on board, with 2 crew members showing symptoms right now. The virus is called hantavirus, and it normally only spreads from rodents to humans. But the World Health Organization just said today that they believe that it is now starting to spread between people on this ship, which would be incredibly rare.
7 individuals of the 147 passengers and crew have been reported ill. Sadly, 3 have died. 1 patient is in intensive care in South Africa, while 2 patients are still on board the ship and are being prepared for medical evacuation.
If that is confirmed, it would mean that the virus is developing the ability to jump person to person, and that changes everything about how dangerous this situation actually is. There is no cure, there is no treatment, and no vaccine for hantavirus. All the doctors are able to do on the ship is put you on oxygen and wait. Every single country that is near the ship has refused to let it dock because they don't want the virus reaching land. Spain actually just offered to take the ship to the Canary Islands for a full investigation, but as of right now, not a single person has been allowed off. 149 different people, no treatment and nowhere to go, and this is happening right now. The World Health...
Right? Hey, so as we see here, man, right, this is a next level pestilence right here, man. This kind of reminds me a little bit of, the whole thing when the Crown Royal started, man. When that C word started. All right, because here it is. It says this disease was only something that would go from rodents to humans, right? It didn't have the ability to go from human to human, right? It wasn't contagious like that. But now it's looking like it mutated to a rare strand, right? Of this disease, man. Now it's going from people to people now, right? Going to show you, hey, in these final days, prepare to hear about a lot more pestilences, man. A lot more diseases out here, going rampant throughout the 4 corners of the world, man. All right, and it's gonna be, types of diseases that's, rare forms, man. Right, like this right here, this one right here, this Hansa thing is a rare form, right? And it's on a ship, right, with 140 people, and they already put some people to death. And what did they say? They said there's no cure, right? There's no treatment, right? There's nothing that they could give you to make it go away, right? All they could do is give you oxygen, and wait, and that's the same thing they were doing with the C word, man. What they were doing to the people, they were giving them oxygen. They was ended up dying, man. Right? This is going to show you the times that we are in, man. Right? So as we get close to the end, we're going to see a lot more of these diseases, popping up, man. All right. I'll grab this real quick. All right. This is Matthew 24:7, and it reads, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places," man. And what we're seeing right now is like the beginning of a major epidemic, man. Right? With this pestilence, right? And when you go into the word pestilence, this is a definition for pestilence, right? It says refers to a deadly, virulent, and contagious epidemic disease that rapidly spreads and kills large numbers of people. So right now on that ship, they got all those people, being isolated, man. Right? Because they trying to, minimize, the spread of it even more, man. Right? But it already put a couple people to death. All these countries saying, nah, we don't even want this over here, man. Right? And a similar situation, happened back in 2020 with the sea, right? You know, where there was a cruise ship, that basically people, they couldn't dock them people, man. They just left them on that ship. They're like, no, we can't let them get off, man. You know. But hey, as we get closer and closer to the end, prepare to see more and more pestilences, rare forms of these diseases, man. These mutated diseases, right? You know, another thing I want to get to, right, is this whole situation, with these gas prices. All right. And I'm gonna play, a short clip. And I really just want to show, honestly, the beginning part of this, because it's showing you the temperament of these Babylonians. And this is a video. It's titled "Gas Prices are about to push millions over the edge." Right.
Gas prices are getting higher and higher. Let's talk about it.
I pulled up to the pump today and saw $4.99 a gallon. My soul left my body right there in the dang front seat. Full panic mode. I am sweating bullets like the car is already on fire. How is this legal? I am having a full heart attack just reading the sign. My hands shake so bad I almost pumped gas into my own shoe. How am I supposed to afford this madness? Rent is choking me. Groceries are robbing me. Now gas is straight up mugging me in what is left. We are out here making choices like, do I eat ramen for dinner or do I just eat the disappointment? It is so
right. But that's really the point I wanted to get from it, because this individual states how rent is up, groceries up, right? Now gas is up, right? And he's discussing about how it's hard to maintain, right? And that's the average Babylonian in this place, man. Right? Rent prices are skyrocketing, right? The cost of food is skyrocketing, right? The cost of gas is skyrocketing. So ultimately, what is this going to lead to, man? Right? Because as these gas prices continue to soar, right? And I believe the average right now, they're saying in the nation is about $4.50. I believe what they're trying to average it out, or what it crosses throughout Babylon. Now, as these gas prices continue to surge and continue to rise, you're going to start seeing people, not able to even, afford going to work, right? Because the average person, right, is commuting, 30 minutes to, 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, to get to work, right? And that's one way. And then that same time going back, and they're, putting gas in multiple times throughout the week. So it's going to get to the point where people can't even afford, going to work, because by them going to work, they're spending all that money on gas. They won't even be able to, pay their rent or their mortgage, be able to feed themselves, right? Because you even said, this guy even said, he doesn't know if he's going to eat ramen, and then he said disappointment, right? It's going to get real bad out here, man, right? We're really seeing, this place, circle that drain more and more on a daily basis, man. Because you have this whole situation that's going on right now in the Strait of Hormuz, right? So more and more Babylonians, right? Keep in mind, right? This guy is like making a joke out of it, but it's serious frustration behind that, right? It's serious frustration behind that. So best believe a lot of these people are going to be frustrated, man. I was talking to my father, and he was saying, man, if these gas prices keep getting high, I might have to start taking public transportation to get to work, and he in the commute, for him is a good, 40 minutes easily, man. All right. So that's what you're about to see happen, right? And that's why you also see this increase in these, these Teslas, these electric vehicles, increase in people taking public transportation. All right. And then especially too in the summertime, right? People are going to be, people are going to be spending a lot of money on gas, man. Because in that summertime, that's when people spend the most on gas, right? But these prices are consistently skyrocketing, man. Right? And they even said that, Babylon could run out of, I believe it's gas or oil, right? Right? It could run out of gas or oil in the July month, man. Right? Going to show you, man, this place is finishing. What's going to happen once that gas runs out? Once people aren't able to get gas or have, easy access to gas, that's going to ultimately disrupt, the whole economy as a whole, man. All right. Because, That's gonna affect the logistics, right? The trucks, the trains, because they be using diesel, right? It's gonna cripple everything, man. Right? Even with certain flights, all right, that's really gonna mess this place up, and that's gonna ultimately lead to what? These people going mad out here. These people bugging out here, man. Okay, this is Revelation 6:6, right? And it reads, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And we already see this hyperinflation, man, right? These past, couple years, these past, few months, few weeks, few days, honestly, we've been seeing these prices, skyrocket, man, right? Especially at these grocery stores, man, right? And now we're seeing these gas prices jump on a consistent basis, man. You have certain states where, the cheapest gas you find is $5, man. Right? Got certain places where, they seeing gas at 7. Right? Out here in Florida, gas prices be about 4.60. I seen one the other day. I was with a brother. We stopped to get gas, and across the street, the gas station had their gas. I believe it was at 4.93. So that inflation is consistently happening, and ultimately these people aren't going to be able to maintain, right? And that's going to also lead to uproars, looting, stealing, right? Crime going to increase, right? Because when times get tough, people start bugging out. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, verse 19. It reads, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." Right? So ultimately, that's what we getting ready to see happen in this place, man. We're seeing the dominoes being put in this right place, man. We're seeing the chess pieces, the chessboard is set, man. Right? So you're gonna be seeing, these neighbors, these best friends, relatives, family members, going at it with each other, trying to put each other to death, looting through their house, through their cars. All right. Because they're unable to maintain and survive in this place, man. Majority of people are living paycheck by paycheck. This says majority of people don't even have $500, in their account, man. Okay. So as times continue to get worse, right, we're gonna see these people get ready to bug out more and more. Right. We're seeing these pestilences. We're seeing, right, these gas prices going up, and the cost of living going up, and the food going up, and that's ultimately going to segue to what? These people are going to be bugging out, man. Right? Babylon's really about to be out here looking like, a third world country, man. But hey, the point has been made. Lord willing, the source edifying to your elect of Israel. I'm gonna wrap it up with that. I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakwakadash, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Mills and Ruel. Peace, blessings, salutations to the full elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening onto this truth with our sincerity. Until next time, shalom, and the ball, Kwame Sharala, shalom.